Welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name's Jenny Senapetaratna. Grab your favorite drink, get yourself a snack, and we will get started. Today I have English breakfast with lemon because this is really what I was craving when I was on my trip, which is what we're going to talk about today. And the other thing I was craving the most, sunflower seeds. I love salty. Like, I would much rather do salty than sweet any day. And a salty sunflower seed is my thing. All right, so I am going to talk to you a little bit about the trip that I just took, and hopefully this is not too traumatizing for me or for you. We will see. But my husband and I did a missions trip to Spain, and it was wonderful. There were some really wonderful things that happened, and I am super excited to share those, but not this podcast. This podcast, we're going to talk about the mess that was my trip. So here we go. So my husband hurt his back on Monday before we left. We left on a Wednesday. He hurt his back, could barely move. I actually thought we would probably be maybe like postponing the trip. I didn't really know what we were going to do. But we ended up going. And he did okay. Like, he was doing great. He preached. Like, we did some traveling. We went around. And about midway through our trip, his back got a lot worse. And he got kind of sick. I'm not 100% sure what was happening, but we were supposed to spend 48 hours in Morocco with a tour. So I didn't feel super comfortable going to Morocco without a tour. I had looked at it. I looked at Airbnbs. I looked at hotels, and I was like, you know what? We're going to spend the money. And so I sold tea calendars this year so we could go on this tour. Now, about a day, maybe 2 days before the tour, my husband was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go to Morocco. And I was like, it's non-refundable. Like, we need to go to this. And you know what happened? He ended up not going. He ended up staying in the hotel. We ended up being able to book the hotel that we were currently in for the time that I was going to be in Morocco. And I was like, okay, I can totally do this. Like, I am a strong, independent woman. I can totally do this. I can go to Morocco, not a problem. I could totally do this. I'm going with a tour, no problems, right? It'll be fine. So the night before, I'm like, you know what? Like, these next 48 hours will probably be the first time in my life that I'm not worrying about anybody else. It is all about me. I get to decide what I want to do, and it's about things that are important to me. I have always wanted to go to Africa ever since I was a little kid, and I heard about Africa and missionaries in Africa. Like, that has been my heart's desire for a very long time. And so this was the opportunity of a lifetime. Like, we were so close. I'm like, we can't not go, right? So the morning comes, my husband gets up, and I packed just a backpack because I was like, you know, I don't really want to carry all my luggage with me. I'll just leave that with him. And so I packed short sleeve shirts because it's Morocco and it's supposed to be warm. Foreshadowing, it was not warm. It was very cold and I should have had sweaters. Anyway, that was such a minor thing with what happened that I kind of look back and go, yeah, if I would have been wearing a sweater. Anyway, so I get out and there's all these buses being picked up, and I go to someone and they're like, well, that's kind of odd. Normally your tour gets picked up at like 6 a.m. And I'm like, I know, but it said 9. And they're like, oh, that's kind of weird. And so there's a lot of phone calls happening, and everybody's speaking in fluent Spanish except for me. And they put me on a bus. And I'm like, this is awesome. I actually took a photo and a video of the bus and sent it to my family. And I was like, hey guys, like, here I am with a bunch of 30 other people. We all speak English. This is going to be a great day. Like, this is going to be so fun. And so we're just driving along. It's about an hour and a half into the trip. And this guy comes back. The tour guide comes back. He's like, Jennifer. And I'm like, yeah, hi. He's like, yeah, you're not actually with this tour. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, this tour is actually going somewhere else. None of us are going to Tangier, Morocco. Only you are. And I was like, excuse me? What do you mean, only I am? And he's like, you're the only one that's going on that tour. So here's what we're going to do. And then fluently lays out the plan in more Spanish than English. And I stood there stunned. And then he walked away. And I was like, what did he just say? And the lady ahead of me went, what did he just say? And I said, I don't know. And she was like, neither do I. I was trying to eavesdrop. I didn't understand what he was saying. So we stopped for a rest stop. And I walked up to him and I'm like, hey, can you tell me what's happening again? Like, he's like, okay, do you promise not to cry? That's never good. Like, right? That's never good. No, I don't promise not to cry. Like, so he's like, so here's what's happening. You're the only one on your tour because your husband's not here. And our next stop, we're going to stop in the middle of somewhere. He said where it was. It ended up being like Nowheresville. Like there was nothing around. And we're going to put you in a taxi and you're going to go to Morocco. And I'm like, what? By myself? Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. The taxi's safe. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, that's not what I'm worried about. Why am I going by myself? Why am I not with this tour? What's happening? I signed up for a tour. Like, not for Jenny in Morocco by herself. Like, that's not what I signed up for. He's like, you'll be fine. Just don't cry. Smile, lady, smile. He kept saying, smile, lady, smile. So I call Kev and I'm like, FYI, I'm not on a tour. And he was like, what do you mean? So I explained what I understand. And I've got tears streaming down my face, and I'm trying to remain calm. And so I go and I grab some water because I was like, I need something. So I grabbed some water, and the lady in front of me in line was like, she was the one that was sitting in front of me, and she was like, honey, come sit with me. And so we sit down, and she was like, okay, so she had talked to the guy with me, and so she's like, this is what I understand. And I'm like, she's like, this is horrible. I'm like, yes, this is horrible, because she's a single woman doing this. And I'm like, okay, like, this is interesting. And so she sits next to me and we're just chatting about life and, you know, where she's from and where I'm from and, you know, just kind of talking about life. And they stop. The bus stops. There's 30 people plus on the bus, stops. In the middle of, like, I look around, I'm like, there is nothing here. Like, guys, there was nothing there. And the guy's like, I will not let the bus leave until your taxi gets here. I was like, that's not comforting. Like, that is just not comforting me. Okay, thanks. Because you driving away seemed like an option. Like, what is happening? Anyway, so the guy's like, so you're going to meet, like, this guy at the end of this whole thing. Here's a picture of him. He's like my second father. You will be just fine. And I'm like, okay, I could totally do this. I can do this. I was wrong, but I could do this. So they put me in a taxi. They say a bunch of words I've never heard before. They shut the door and the bus drives away. And it is me alone in a taxi, driving somewhere that I don't know where I'm going. And they're going one way and I'm going a different direction because they were going to Gibraltar and I was going to Tangier. I'm not even sure where I went. I have to be honest with you. So, okay, I'm in this car for about 45 minutes. I have the internet with me. So I'm able to like, hey, Kev, here's where I'm at. You know, everything's fine. Because we bought it like a portable internet to have with us in Spain. Spoiler alert, it doesn't actually work in Africa. That's fun. But I have it with me just in case. And so this guy brings me down to this port where there are no boats and there is no traffic and there's nothing open except for like one little shop. And he was like, this is the shop. And I'm like, okay, the name of my tour company is not on the side of this. It is not anywhere. Like, I'm looking for my tour company, cannot find it anywhere. I walk in and this guy's like, hey, Jennifer. And I'm like, hi. He's like, okay, I'm going to make a plan for you. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, He's like, so here's the thing. The boat that you're supposed to be on has been canceled. So we're going to put you on a different boat. It'll be fine. So just go into town and just go hang out. You got about four hours. And I was like, could you tell me where town is? And he points out he's like, it's out there. And I'm like, okay, that's water. I'm like, what you're pointing at right now is water, and there are no boats out there. And he's like, just walk up the road, you'll find stuff. So here I am at a port with no one that speaks my language, which is fine. I'm not in my home country. Should have learned a little bit more Spanish than I did, but that's okay. Like, we're fine. And I'm walking around for 4 hours trying to figure out what's going on. So I came back, and I was like, because he told me she's like, specific time to come back. So I came back at that time. I enjoyed myself. I really, I went to the shops. I had a cup of tea, actually. I had some churros. I lived my best life to the best of my ability. I think I saw the whole town because I walked the whole thing. It wasn't a big town. Everything was closed, which is fine, but I walked it all, and I had a very lovely time seeing all the sights that I don't really know what they were, but I saw them and I enjoyed myself, and I was like, I can totally do this, right? I could totally do this. And I got back, and he gave me a little packet, and he was like, okay, see the sheet? You need to fill it out. And I was like, okay, if you can see it, on the back, it's, okay, so I'll fill this out. I'm a pretty smart woman. I can figure this out. I know Spanish well enough that I could, figure a lot of it out. And so he's like, and the police will come find you. And then you give them this, and they will let you in the country. And I was like, the police are gonna come find me. Okay, all right. That's all the information I have at this point. Go on a boat, and the police will find you. That's all the information I had at this point, and there was no more getting more information. He gave me a little packet and said, this has got your hotel in it. And I was like, do they know I'm coming? They will when you get there. Okay. It was just interesting. So this guy who did not speak any English, and I talked to him a little bit in Spanish, but very little. And he brought me to this area, and he said, your boat's inside. I think that's what he said. Good luck. I'm not sure if he said good luck. I am imagining the good luck. I'm just imagining that this poor guy was like, this is not going to go well. You're just like, this is crazy. So I get in, and I go through all the security, and I give them my passport, and they don't want this piece of paper yet. I don't know who wants the piece of paper, but they don't. And they put me in this space, and nothing, I have no idea where I'm going. And there's one boat, and I think that's the boat I'm supposed to be on, because it kind of matches. If you look at the piece of paper they gave me, it might kind of match the one. So I'm like, I think that's the boat I'm supposed to get on, but nobody knew what I was talking about when I tried to ask questions. And so I'm just kind of panicked. I have to be honest. I was like, okay, this has been crazy enough for me. This has been crazy, but I can't, what do I do? I called Kev. He's like, I can maybe get there. It's going to cost $300 to get there, but I can maybe get there. And I'm like, well, at this point, you're not going to get here in time to get on this same boat that I'm getting on to go who knows where. So I get on the boat, and I find a place to sit because I'm waiting for the police to come find me. They never do, by the way. They never come find me. And I lost my internet about halfway because we made it into Morocco, which, it was a 40-minute boat ride across, and it was beautiful. And I saw whales, and it was phenomenal. I had a snack, and I made a little traveler's patch on because I get really motion sick, and I'm glad I did. And all of a sudden the boat stops, and I'm like, look at this. I look out, and there's Morocco. I am in Africa, guys. I am in Africa. And I'm like, I totally have this. Like, there is just no way that this is not going to go phenomenally now, right? I made it. And I get in line to like get off the boat. And I don't know if you know this, but in Spain, they talk very animatedly. They're very excited and everything's really, their voices are really loud. And the people that I've been with so far. And so there's a guy in front of me and a guy behind me. And the guy behind me is yelling and screaming. And I have no idea what he's saying. But I kind of noticed the guy in front of me is getting a little agitated, but I didn't know what he was saying back. But the next thing I knew, his fist went flying right towards my face, trying to hit the guy behind me, and someone pushed me out of the way and started yelling at me. And I said, "No hablo español, no hablo español. I don't speak Spanish." And she was like, "Oh, honey bun, like, that's why you're such a moron standing in the middle of this fight." Yep, me standing right in front of a full-on brawl that they had to call the police in and take the two away, and me right there in the middle, standing there like, do, 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 do. Right? So, I'm sorry, this is so long, but I was just gonna have to be 2, right? So I get off the boat and I get up to security and I hand them my little sheet because I haven't seen anyone yet. These are the first people I've seen with machine guns and they're the whole thing. And he's like, "Get back on the boat." And I'm like, I don't want to get back on the boat. I want to be here. And he was like, "No, you need to get back on the boat." So I go back in the boat. I'm crying. By the way, I cried this whole thing. Like, my makeup was gone. I am full red-faced. I get in. I find the customs guy. He was like, "You moron. You're supposed to do this during the boat ride." I'm like, "I didn't know." Gave him my little sheet. And he walked me back out. "No cry, lady. No cry. No cry." He kept saying, "No cry. No cry." And I'm just tears streaming down my face. I can't stop crying. I get off. I go through security again. I get into Morocco. I go down the elevator. I find the picture of the guy I'm supposed to find. He's like, "Hi, Jennifer. Nice to meet you. Let's go get on the bus." Walks me out. I don't know who this guy is. It is me and this guy. Like, right? I'm in Morocco now. It's me and a guy. He puts me on a bus. A full bus. Like a full tour bus. Me, the driver, and this guy. That's it. That's all that's on the bus. And he was like, "Okay, I'm going to take you to the hotel. And I'll pick you up in the morning." And I was like, "What about the tour?" He was like, "Yeah, no, there's no tour. It's Ramadan. You're a single woman. You have to stay in the hotel." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You are a woman and you're single. You can't be out. No tour for you. You need to go to the hotel. And if we can find someone, if we can find a man to sit with you at dinner, you may eat dinner. Otherwise, you can't have dinner because you can't be by yourself." Now I'm crying. Like, now I have lost it. He invites me to his house because he was like, "Do you want to have Ramadan with me and my family?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's maybe not what I should do." Like, right? At least my brain went, "Oh, maybe this is not what I should do." So I decided to not do that and go to his house for Ramadan. Just thought that was not my wisest choice. So I get to the hotel. The hotel ends up letting me have dinner because they said, "We're not as strict as my tour guide is with the guidelines, so you may eat dinner as a single woman in our hotel. That is just fine. You're a tourist. It's okay. You don't have to follow our customs of Ramadan." And they let me have food. And that is just day 1. I will do day 2 another day. But let me tell you something. God was with me the entire way. I know that we walk through some hard things, and life can be so crazy. And that sometimes you look back and go, how did that happen? How am I in Morocco as a single woman during Ramadan? Like, how does that happen? But you know what? God watched out for me. He took care of me. I'm back, as you can see. It was a crazy adventure the next day. It got even wilder. I mean, no fist fights the next. What? Yeah, there was a fist fight the next day. But that was a totally different kind of fist fight. I wasn't in the middle this time, so that was good. because tempers run high during Ramadan because you can't eat or drink or smoke or have any alcohol during the day. And he's like, everybody's really cranky. And I ran into a lot of cranky. But you know what? God was faithful and he was with me. And no matter what you're walking through right now, and no matter how hard it seems, God is with you. It may feel like all the circumstances around you are chaotic and wild, but God has a plan. And I'm going to tell you my next part of the story in the next podcast. But let me just give you a spoiler. It was amazing. It really was. God was so faithful to show up in ways that I never imagined. In a 99% Muslim country, God was there and he stood with me and he took care of me. And I'm so grateful for him. Well, that's all I have for you today because this has already been kind of long. But you can find me at Real Life with Jenny on Instagram and on Facebook. You can go in the notes and support this podcast. Share, like, subscribe, all those things. Please share, like, subscribe. You all have a great day.